I'm going to be focusing on the topic of narcissists, Jezebel spirits, people who have NPD. All right? I have came down to the realization that the reason why my trigger has been so exacerbated is because of the fact that I am indeed surrounded with a swimming pool full of numerous amounts of narcissistic people. Either it be in the community where I live in, and in general, I tend to attract, like bees to honey, narcissists. You know, just the fact that I was raised with highly narcissistic parents and I grew up with very narcissistic family members, just very selfish and greedy and self-absorbed and, lack of empathy, entitlement, you name it. All those very evil traits that we see within Jezebel spirits. I need to focus on the fact that I've came to the realization that I was raised by a lot of narcissists. I'm not going to expose any of them, but even some of the people that I grew up with are narcissists. And I'm starting to realize the more I learn about it. Now, growing up, I grew up with a sibling, and this sibling was very narcissistic, okay? I had a very nice, exciting event at, like, let's say I did well at school, I get rewarded for something, my graduation, a high school, event that I have, or something just special is taking place in my life. I remember that narcissists, they can't stand you being in the spotlight. They can't stand you feeling good about yourself. When I would have these events, I would turn and see, like, to see, okay, is this person happy for me? And I remember just, feeling the rage, the anger being projected outwardly onto me as if I did something wrong to deserve it, and as if I was responsible for that person not being happy on a very important event in my life. Now, you know, I honestly thought that this person was also an empath like me growing up, and that I was just, that we actually bonded like siblings. I come to realize that I was just projecting my good qualities on my other sibling the whole entire time. And this sibling really didn't have any good intentions with me to begin with. The sibling was also an agent in my life. And I remember, and this is the topic that I'm going to be discussing. The the let's see. The relentless um wanting to get me out of my character, get me out of alignment. I've always been very bubbly, very happy. I have a very happy and positive personality. I try to see the good in everything, and I'm just very happy most of the time. And I recall so many times where I was just, spending quality time with my sibling, and out of nowhere my sibling would just try to trigger me, right? Try to get me to become angry. And I was in a really good mood. I was enjoying, you know, I was having I was just radiating positive energy. And you know, we were on different um spirits. We carried different spirits. So as I was hanging out with this person, they always wanted to put my spirit down. And they would trigger me constantly, over and over again, and make me angry, and make me react, get me out of my um, alignment, my spiritual alignment. And, they would say, oh, it's just so much fun. I love getting you to react that way. It's just fun. And I would tell them, why do you do this to me? Like, why are you making me mad? What's the point of it all? It's just fun to do that. And I was thinking to myself, why is making me angry or getting me to become sad fun? That's what highly narcissistic people um do. They play with your emotions. They want to have control over how you feel about yourself, how you feel in the moment, and if they're not in a happy mood state, they will try to get you to feel just as bad as they do. And it's fun for narcissists to trigger you. Yes, it's very sadistic. Yes, it's very sadistic. Um, Now I understand why my sibling gets so much attention, why people gravitate towards that sibling so much, and why that sibling is a golden child. It makes sense. They share the same qualities. They have the same exact characteristics and personality traits, so of course other people will like what they see because they're also highly narcissistic. And of course, a big old family system full of narcissists, of course they're gonna like one another and they're going to feel like they're with family because they're all the same. They all like to be sadistic and abusive and trigger people and get people to be angry and feel like they're better and all that type of stuff. So I was the oddball there. And I just remember, constantly people trying to get me to trigger, right? Trying to get me to react, say certain things that they knew that would affect me or were very hurtful to say, like bring up my past, bring up past traumas, see how I react, really try to make me feel sad or bad about myself, or to get me um to a lower level. All right. So, um the previous video that I've made had a very strong reaction, and I need to make some, not even, I'm not explaining myself. I just need to talk to you guys about narcissists and how they behave and what causes reactive abuse. All right? So, we're going to get started with this. In my community, I have a narcissistic neighbor. I previously stated that several times. Um, Highly narcissistic, highly sadistic. I have a manager who's also a narcissist. Just the word no caused her to punish me and, berate me and do all this type of stuff to sabotage me. Now, I've caused several narcissistic injuries, either unintentionally, subconsciously, or by me just being myself and being authentic in who I am and having a very strong sense of self and just being happy. It's enough for them to lash out and try to get me to become miserable just like they are. Because, I'm not joking when I say this. There was times where I was very happy. I still am very happy, but there was just times where I would just play music, laugh, and just enjoy my own quality time, my own self, my self-care and all that. And I can just feel the energy. I'm extremely sensitive, very sensitive to like the emotions of other people. And as I was happy, I felt like the narcissistic neighbor just rage. I didn't even have to be there to see her face to face just to know that there was a lot of anger, like uh an explosion within this person by just seeing me be in a happy state of mind. Because narcissists are never happy. They're always angry and bitter and, you know, constantly in this negative energy ball. They're like a ball of negative energy. And that's all they get, like a pit of darkness. So, you know, now I understand why I had such a strong reaction. Because, but I've been ignoring them. I've been just minding my business, living my life, and it feels amazing. It feels so amazing to know that you don't have to take care and be anyone's babysitter or you know, guard their emotions because a narcissist is so fragile. You know, I'm okay with them sabotaging me. I mean, like, yes, it's they're doing a bunch of things to, you know, screw my record and, you know, really tarnish me as a person, but I'm still happy regardless. You see, I don't allow certain things like that to consume me, my life force. You know, like bad things like that will happen, and you know, it's it doesn't define me. What they did to me, it doesn't define me. You know, all the name calling, all the projection, all the hatred, because they have verbally abused me, and I don't think that has to do with gang stalking like fully. I believe that that is just a narcissist just being who they are as a person, and you know, expecting that as a devaluation stage, that they're going to devalue you and they're going to do everything to try to make you feel bad about yourself. And so the sabotage of my personal belongings has to do because I caused a major narcissistic injury. I've ignored them whenever I go out. I just mind my business. I I don't look to even look at them or anything. And that has caused several narcissistic injuries. Now, what is a narcissistic injury, you may ask? A narcissistic injury is when you unintentionally cause a narcissist to have to self reflect or bruise their fragile ego. Narcissist has an inflated sense of self. They constantly have to have people making them feel like they are, in fact, better than you. And whenever you're confident and you're not easily controllable and you're very resistant and you stand your ground and you enforce strong boundaries in your life and you think for yourself, you don't allow them to take control over your life like they try to, that is enough for the narcissist to feel like they are not good enough and that they are important, that they're not important, and it makes them self-reflect on who they really are. And because they want to try to give you a false sense of an identity, they want you to create this ego identity where, you know, they're calling you bad, and it's your ego that's trying to protect you and be like, I'm not bad. It's your ego that's fighting for that, you know, to convince the narcissist that you're not a bad person. So we have to kill off that fake persona that the narcissist tries to create for us, because it's like you know how the narcissist wears two masks. What they're trying to do is they're trying to create a a lie of your other supposedly who you are. You know, they're projecting who they are onto you, and then, you know, they want you to believe it, and it's like this ego sense of self of your identity, which is not your real self. It's like your ego that they're projecting onto it, right? They're trying to get you there. um and we have to kill our ego. I'm struggling with killing my ego. Like that reaction, I felt like it was, I mean, of course I'm gonna be enraged, and of course I'm gonna be frustrated and feel antagonized, because of course the attacks are directly against my personal belongings, and I have an emotional sentimental attachment, you know, to certain belongings. Like, I'm not gonna lie, certain things that I have, you start to actually, you know, like, you take care of your stuff. You value what you have. You value certain things that you have because, you know, you know the value of the work, every other thing. It's like if someone comes in and you have your own microphone and your own desk, and someone comes in and breaks all the microphone and everything. Of course, you're gonna feel like, why would they're attacking my stuff, and it has a certain sentiment to you. And I need to get this out here. I'm speaking the truth on narcissistic personality disorder, and I'm going to be making a lot more videos. And I'm going to explain to you guys how my reaction was just reactive abuse, because I've caused narcissistic injuries, like I've stated. I wasn't giving them any narcissistic fuel to fuel their ego, any narcissistic supply. I was very indifferent towards these people. I was just going on with my life. I didn't really care, at all if, they liked me or they didn't like me. I just continued to be myself. When you're indifferent to a narcissist, that's when you're winning. That's when you're beating the narcissist at their own game, because life to them is a game. They're always trying to play people. They're always trying to play with people like there's some type of object, like they just need to manipulate like a puppet, and I wasn't allowing it. I was standing my ground, and I was very resistant to being controlled. um and so you know this happens and this, of course, this was gonna happen to me because um I'm not allowing them anymore to have an influence over who I am and over my life and over um my faith and what I believe in. Because these narcissists that I am close proximity with in the community, they don't believe in Yeshua, right? They don't have like any faith in God. Most, they operate with the Antichrist spirit. Jezebel's, they're all into witchcraft and the New Age type of stuff. And so they were trying really hard to break me in what I believed in, mock me. They wrote like in my notebook, like I had notebooks, they would write certain Bible scriptures mocking me and what I believe in, things like that. And it got to me for a little bit, but then I recovered from it, and I was finally able to um, not meditate, but just think about, what they were doing. And I was saying to myself, no, these people just want to change me for the worse. You know, um, I'm doing great. I have a great relationship with my creator, and I'm not going to let them get in the way of that. And I was worshiping and praying to the Lord. I wasn't worshiping them. And we all know that narcissists want you to worship them. They they want people to look at them like they're a god, like they're the most important person to ever exist and to ever be born. And so I was not even partaking in their delusions. And I crushed it. I their whole delusion just shattered. And this is what's happening. They're trying really hard to get any type of ammunition out of me because I wasn't giving them any. And so the attacks, of course, they're gonna try to attack me where they know that where they know that it's gonna hurt me, it's gonna affect me. No, when I'm talking about being indifferent, it's to the narcissist. It's a gray rocking. It's a technique where you don't give the narcissist any positive supply or negative supply, because they feed off of your good emotions, but they also feed off of your negative emotions. It's both. So when you're indifferent, you're kind of like a rock. You're not feeding into their ego, into them having any type of energy to feed off of, because they're like bottom feeders. They feed off of whatever you give them, and they they just drain all of that energy. And when I'm talking about energy, is who you are as a person. right? Your time that you devote to them, that you give to them. Um, them just studying you, your positive qualities when they're around you and they come around you and they just want to look at you and they want to try to see how you are, and they study you. When you're indifferent, you're not really available to them. You kind of just disclose yourself, you become more reserved and more private, and now they don't have anything to get from you. And so what? No, this is not. What are you talking about? No. Um, and so that's what they do. That's one thing that they'll do. And it's not the first time that I've actually dealt with narcissists destroying your property. My own parent would destroy my property growing up, being raised with narcissists. Um, it's a way to devalue you as well. It's a way to kind of like make you feel like you don't matter, like your type of stuff, or disrespect your belongings. Do whatever they want to your belongings and get rid of them, hide them, destroy any of your belongings. Even they go as far as to adjusting your belongings, like, so yeah, that's what they do. Yeah, so they'll bait you. That's one thing that they'll do is they'll bait you. um I've actually had to discard with the narcissists near me. They did a whole smear campaign. They were trying to bait me to get me to emotional react by saying, like, bringing their family in and saying, look at this person, trying to just get me to react so they can validate the lies that they have been saying, right? Because they need to get you to emotionally react so they can tell people, like, you see how unstable they are, you see how they're crazy, you see how they're the problem. They'll do that. And I think, my reaction that I had, I've explained it thoroughly. And I've explained it also with a lot of detail as to why I was reacting that way, because all the things that they were doing, and it's like it's one thing after another, and eventually you get to that point where you're just like, I can't anymore, like they're taking it way too far. But we have to really be able to withhold our energy away from them and not, act like none of it bothers us, even when it does, but not give them that satisfaction to see that they got to us. Because what they do is that they trigger you and then they sit back and they're very calm and they get very quiet. Oh yeah, they do. They do. It's okay, you could dislike it, but I'm not lying. They do. They get very quiet. If you're an agent watching this and you just want to dislike it because I said something that offended you, too bad. I don't care. They'll sit back and they'll just, trigger you, and then they'll wait until you react. And then when you react, they finally go, you see? You see how they are? They're the abuser. You see? You see how they treat me? And so they provoke and instigate you and annoy you and taunt you, and they'll press on your buttons. They'll bring up your wounds, certain things that are sensitive to you, like, oh, remember you have abandonment issues, remember you got laughed at and humiliated, oh, I feel bad for you, or they'll say certain things and you get mad and you're like, Like, don't talk about that. Why are you doing that to me? Just stop. And then they'll sit back and they'll be like, why are you overreacting? What's wrong with you? You got problems. I was just joking. Why are you so sensitive? And that, then, you see, now you feel like you're the problem. Like, oh, maybe I did react. Maybe I was in the wrong. And they'll make you feel that you're in the wrong. So, I need to get this out there because I think it's just very important to talk about this as well, because this goes in with everything that we go through as well. Right? So they, when you get mad and you show them that, they affect you, they'll sit back and feel like they're the victim, like, and they want you to try to feel bad for them, and you're like, they started it, like, it's all just like, you know, everything in their life is just upside down. But yeah, to them it is fun to trigger you. It is fun for narcissistic people to do that. I actually had a lot of narcissists that would tell me, "Oh, it's fun. It's fun when you react. It's fun. It's just funny." And I'm like, I don't get the joke. Like, what's the joke? And they'll even say that. They'll say it's fun. It's fun. And you'll be like, I don't understand how this is like fun for you to like play with my emotions and get me to react negative towards you. And that's how my sibling would act. I remember my sibling constantly, would say certain things and trigger me, and I would get mad, and you know, or they would just like bully me and taunt me, and then they'll say things like, "It's fun seeing you react like that. Ha, it's so funny." And I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like, are you okay? It kind of make me feel like, what's wrong with this person? Like, how is it entertaining? But to them, it is entertaining to do this type of stuff. The the video that I made, I don't know if it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I was really loud. I was infuriated. I was very pissed off at the fact that they destroyed a very expensive personal belonging of mine. And, these narcissists don't value anything. They don't value anything at all. They don't attach themselves to anything or anything or anyone. Just like, they have new shoes and, their shoes start to get worn out, they'll just throw it away like, oh, you don't need this, you don't need that. And that's what they'll do with your belongings. Like, they'll feel like, why do you have this? Get rid of this type of stuff. Or they'll get rid of it for you. And they're like, well, you didn't even need it. You weren't even using that. Like, they'll value you. That's how they treat your belongings. And their belongings, they treat as if, like, don't you dare touch what belongs to me. Like, what's mine is mine, and what yours is mine. That's how a narcissist thinks. Like, whatever you have, it's theirs and their mine, because they technically feel like they're entitled to you and to everything that you have. That's how sick these people are. You don't tell me that this is a sickness, but they are sick. But but yeah. Um This explains a lot how I caused a narcissistic injury, and what they did is they had to go and sabotage some of my personal belongings and get me to react. And when they got me to react, they were just very quiet, you know. Um, some of them get off on your reactions. Some of them actually feel good. They feel like powerful because you're reacting to them, and they feel like they have control over you again because they got you to they affected your emotions. And you know, they do this on purpose. It's not by mistake. They do this on purpose. They set you off on purpose. It's not by mistake that these narcissists don't know what they're doing. They know exactly where your triggers are. They know exactly where they have to push your buttons, and they study you to know your weaknesses and to know your wounds and to know where exactly they know that it's going to get to you if they end up doing certain things or saying certain things or behaving very coldly, or acting like you don't exist anymore, silent treatment. They know what they're doing. They want you to react, because to that, then they'll be able to feel like they're in control again. It's all a game of control and manipulation. So our reaction gives them control. And so we have to be able to really control and have, control over our emotional reactions and emotional intelligence. So we won't um give in to them and give them what they want. Some narcissists do know that they're sick. Some of them are aware that there's something wrong with them, that they are not normal, and they're aware of that, because I've actually, I've exposed plenty of narcissists in my life. And one narcissist told me, I know that I'm a bad person. I know that I hurt you. I know, like, and I'm like, yeah, you did. Like, they're aware of it. Like, they're aware of it, but they don't want to take any accountability. And they have to change the narrative and act like you made them do it. You made me do it. You caused me to have to do this to you. That's their favorite line that they always revert to. You somehow made them do what they did to you, or you caused them to behave that way towards you. Because if you wouldn't have done this, or if you wouldn't have done that, then they wouldn't have to have reacted that way towards you. And so, you guys, it's a game for these narcissists. They try to they play they play people. Like, that's all they do. They try to play you, and they try to use you as much as they can. So, to them, it's like it's fun to try to get you to become angry or sad or depressed, or um feel like you're not good enough, or feel like you did something wrong to deserve what they're doing to you. It's a game for them. They're so sick, you guys. Our world is full of these type of people. Um and yeah, their ego will try to justify what they're doing. They project their ill intentions onto you. It's only because clearly you were intended to. Exactly. Yeah, they try to hurt you before you hurt them, which you don't even plan on thinking that, but they think that every person is just like them. A narcissist's mind, they think that every other person is a narcissist just like, as they are. Let's say a narcissist discards you and they move on to another relationship. No, no. Yeah, they move on and then you find a relationship as well. And they will think that you're just trying to get to them because that's what they would do. And they think that what they would do, you would do too. That's why they project that you're a liar, that you're all this crazy stuff. They just try to snuff the light. Exactly, yes. Mm-hmm. But it's not even worth engaging with these people because, or even being around them because you don't get anything in return when you deal with a narcissist. In fact, they just try to take as much as they can, and if they can't take as much, they'll try to initiate or start an argument with you just so they can continue to take even more and more um supply from you because they have to get positive and negative supply. That's why they use the intermediate reinforcement where they're nice to you for like a few moments, and they're trying to like get you back into the relationship so you won't leave, and then they're back to abusing you negatively and devaluing you and criticizing everything about you and seeing you as the worst person and you can't do nothing right. But then they have to go to intermediate reinforcement because they have to get both positive and negative because they always have to validate their false self, and then they also have to project their true self onto you. But yeah, they have to start that drama for that reason to continue to take more and more from you because it gives them more energy and it lets them know that somehow you care about them because you're reacting to them. Thank you, Young Justice. Have a good night. So it gives them that sense of control. And what ends up happening is that if the narcissist is in a bad mood, right? If they're in a really bad mood, or they're in a sad mood, or whatever a negative mood they're in, they will in fact try to get you to be in their exact same mood that they're in. So if they're sad, they're gonna want you to be sad. If they had a bad day at work, they will come home and take it out on you. All right? And this is things that anyone can do. Like, this is just a very low emotional intelligence person. It's low intelligence when people have a lack of self control and are emotionally unstable. Like they had a bad day at work, they come home and their kids there and they take it out on their kids. And the kid's like, "What did I do wrong?" And then the parents like, "You're a bad child. You know that? You're a bad child and you need to know how to behave better." And the child's like, "What?" Like, this just happened all unexpectedly. Their emotional intelligence is like that of a 2-year old. Mm-hmm. It sure is, yeah. But narcissists are being exposed. I mean, even right now, as I'm talking. Um, but no wonder that I can't have any moments of happiness living here. Because they try to take all that away from me. They try to take your happiness away from you and your peace as well. They constantly want you to feel like how they feel on a day to day basis, which is paranoid, Narcissists feel paranoid all the time because of all the horrible things that they go around doing to people. Oh yeah, you best believe that they sure do. Um, Shameful, guilty, and self-loathing and anger, rage, and depression. That's how they feel. They'll expose themselves. It's funny. I laugh at people like them. They remind me of little children when they don't get their way. Yes, they do. Uh huh. When they have temper tantrums, narcissistic rage. Yeah, they're like a little child. Yeah, they really are. Throwing a temper tantrum. So they want you to feel just like they feel every single time. And that's why, when you're around them, you feel like you have to walk on eggshells. You're kind of like just worried about what's going to happen next. Because that's how they feel. They want you to feel just like how they feel constantly. Like, having no control over themselves. So they try to control you. And, um, just, it's, it is so much. It's like a waste of time and energy even wasting on these narcissists. You don't get anywhere with these type of people at all. You get nowhere with them. There's never a resolution, there's never closure. Um they won't change. So it's like, yeah, they will try to destroy you too. Trying to subtly annoy you, but it annoys them when they don't get desired results. So yeah, so let's also talk about the smirk. Um, when they get you to emotionally react, they'll do this little smile, this half smile. Um, because it gives them like a high, seeing you lose your mind, seeing you, just get angrier. They'll say, "Oh, you're crazy because of how you're reacting" and things like that. Um, that happens when they get a high off of seeing you react or seeing you in a state of confusion, or or them doing certain things like evil behind your back, and then them knowing that you're eventually going to notice and it's going to cause you to have a negative reaction. So the smirk is like them getting off of seeing you react. Call it the shark smirk. Yes, I'm a little anxious because I have been blocking them and they are becoming desperate and vindictive. Yeah, they get worse. They get worse with their attacks. So, as I had that reaction like 2 days ago, um, as I was walking out, I saw someone just give me the smirk because I'm pretty sure, I was very angry that day, and plenty of people heard me, while I was making that video. And to them, it's like, oh, like we're getting everything we're doing, it's finally working. And I told the same person one time when they smirked at me, I told them, why are you laughing? Or, this person was just quiet. I'm like, I'm not. I was like, yeah, why'd you just smirk at me? And they got really red, like really, really red. So red. I don't know if it was anger or if it was shame, who knows? But I told this person, yeah, why are you smirking at me? And they don't have a response for you. But yeah, narcissists will try to attack those who are strong as well, and people who they feel are a threat to them. Yeah, they will. They will. When they get desperate, they only embarrass themselves. They do. They look like the clown. Alright, Adrian, I felt your power when you were going ham at them. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, they're very covert with their tactics. Um, but yeah, so that's just what I have to say. Narcissists like to they try to control you. And they watch your reaction just to see, like, okay, what are we gonna get? And if one trigger doesn't work, they're gonna move on to the next trigger. And if that doesn't work, then they're gonna move on to another trigger. So far, the only trigger that they've been able to actually work against me is destroying my belongings. Cause that's where it got me, it got me kind of mad and sad when they did all that to me. And that's the only trigger that they've actually been able to succeed in. Our reactions are food to an energy vampire. They never give up trying. I know they don't give up trying. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, are they ever going to stop? Or I hope some of them actually do end up leaving. Because if you some of them actually end up leaving you alone. But then they'll try to come and hoover you back. So you just gotta continue to go no contact. You know, like disappear from them. Try to stay away, keep your distance away from them. Because every engagement that you have with them, they're just gonna drain all your energy out away. It's just crazy how we have to deal with such a demonic, spirit. Jezebel spirits are like the worst. Jezebel spirits are it's like there's demons, legions of demons that they have. So yeah, if one trigger doesn't work, if they can't get you to react that time, they're gonna, strategize and think of another way to trigger you again. But we have to really learn how to not react to them. I know it's easier said than done. I'm not skilled at it currently. I still, my emotions still sometimes um override me. And I think we just have to learn how to control our emotions and be, kind of just like kind of act like it doesn't bother us at all. I think the only way I'll be able to actually find peace is if I move out here. Because there's so many narcissists. But I think narcissists are everywhere now. So. But yeah, you guys, narcissists do that on purpose to provoke you. That just brought me another narcissistic friend that I had for, well, not a friend, and I wouldn't even consider narcissists friends. They're not friends. They're not at all. Not at all. um, this person that was a narcissist constantly, pushing my buttons, constantly trying to get me to react and, you know, um, knowing exactly where they can get me to become angry or know that it's gonna bother me or get me annoyed and get me to snap emotionally, snap back at them. I remember I would tell this person, hey, stop doing that, that bothers me, stop doing that, don't do it again. And they would try to do it again, and every time I would be around this person, they would constantly, do those things that bothered me. I would say, hey, I don't like when, don't speak about that certain thing because, that I don't want to talk about it, or I don't want to talk about, this or that. And they would bring it up. And I was like, I'm telling you, stop bringing it up. Like, you already know that it bothers me, then why do you do it? And it's like, that's what they do. They trigger you and they know exactly where it triggers you because you tell them exactly what you don't appreciate and what you don't like that they do to you that gets you, sad or angry or any other type of low energy emotion. They will in fact continue to do that just to feed off of your emotions, feed off of your anger. And that's how sick these people are, you guys. Because I remember I would tell this person, stop talking about that. I told you not to talk about it anymore. And they would continue, to bring it up. But it was like constantly, over and over again. And when I would get mad and I would tell this person, hey, I told you to stop doing that to me. They were like, oh, I didn't know. And I was like, I just told you it bothered me. How did you not know that it bothered me? And they're like, I didn't know that bothered. I was like, I have always told you it. Like, I haven't, but they always knew. And, this person was just constantly just trying to feed off of my energy all the time. That's the only reason this person wanted me around, just to take and steal my energy. Because narcissists know how valuable and how important your energy is. And they know that. And that's why they want to, they want to try to trigger you as much as they can. When you're happy, they'll try to get you to blow up at them. Or when you're in peace, they're going to try to ruin your peace and, bring something up in the past to make you feel angry or make you feel sad. It's always their little tricks that they play. And one of the tricks that they do is they act like they don't know. They'll play dumb. They'll be like, I didn't know that bothered you. I didn't know. You're like, what? You're like, you're just like, yeah, but they know what they're doing. They purposely do it because it's like, it's fun for them to see how you react, to see you go crazy. To see you, just in a very negative energy, like to start drama too, to start any type of drama, because they're never at peace. They're never happy. So it's like you being happy, they're like, it bothers them, and they need to try to get you to feel just like how they feel, angry all the time. I remember this person that would do that to me. This person was never a friend. Never a friend. Never a friend. This person was so fake. He was a user. You know? Constantly bringing us certain things up to start an argument. And then this person would project it back on me. What's wrong with you? Why are you in a bad mood? And I was like, well, you just triggered me. And they were like, I didn't even do anything to you. I was like, yes, you did. You know? And they take no accountability. And it was just the worst time, just being around that person, because they would get me to react, and then they would sit back and be very calm and look at me like what's wrong with you? Like, why are you mad? And I was like, you know what you did. I don't know what I did. What did I do? And they'll literally sit down and tell you that they have no idea what they did. That, what are you talking about? And you'll tell them you did this and that, and they're like, I didn't mean it in that way. You know? No. No, I made it a commitment to get rid of any person that always tries to get the worst out of me. Get me to become, yeah, it tries to like what do you call it? Tries to provoke me to become to get the worst side out of me out. That my wording. Um Try to get the worst side of me out. The side of me that I don't like. I don't like it. I don't like being in that, um, energy, that negative state. So, yeah, this person will always try to bring out the ugly in me, try to bring out the worst in me. And I was like, why is this person doing this to me? Like, I'm happy, I'm peaceful, I'm in a good mood, and, all of a sudden they want to irritate me and get me to become all, my energy, just throw it off balance. But yeah, they would act like, I don't know what you're talking about. What did I do to you? I didn't do anything. I was like, yes, you did. You just triggered me. I told you not to do that to me. Why do you keep doing it to me? I didn't know. I didn't know. I was like, you did know. I've told you several times. I'm like, it's not the first time that I tell you this. And then what do? They give me the silent treatment after. They just, no more communication. No. I had to get rid of this person. I can't stand narcissists anymore. I can't stand narcissists anymore. I can't stand them. I don't want to ever have a narcissist around me ever again. They are just so draining and depleting, and they kind of get on my nerves. They really do. They get on my nerves a lot. Narcissistic people get on my nerves because they always have something, up their sleeve, a trick up their sleeve. But yeah, the same narcissistic person was giving me an envious stare, like a death stare, like looking at me angry, and I was like, why are you looking at me like that? Like, how? It's like, why are you looking at me like that? This person was the enemy. Can't believe it. I can't believe it. Just can't believe it. Yeah, if I have to keep saying it's deliberate and intentional, exactly, yeah. It was intentional. There was a moment where I was like, this person's actually getting off on doing it, because I would turn around and I would see them smiling, like kind of laughing, like happy, like, and I was like, what are they laughing at? What's so funny? You guys, it's just, I don't know. But yeah, they laugh when you turn around and you look at them. And you're just like, you're thinking to yourself, this person is really getting a kick off of seeing me react to what they're doing to me. But yeah, this is how I had a lot of narcissistic people. That's how you know. They never try to um, make you feel good about yourself. They always try to make you feel bad or make you feel angry, or, you know. Maybe they can't understand the words that are coming out of your mouth, speak a different language, maybe. No, that's not what it is. They're manipulators. It has nothing to do with that. There's all types of narcissists. Doesn't matter what ethnic, age, intelligence level they have. But yeah. Oh, and then don't mind me that they play the victim after you react. They're very good at playing the victim once you react to them. Then they're telling you, oh, why did you treat me like that? Why did you get angry at me? Oh, these people. These people, I'm telling you. I don't know, and they're not even people. They're a different type of human. time, you guys. Yeah, they go straight to the victim. I forgot to mention that. Once you react, then they're like, "Oh, you hurt my feelings. You need to apologize to me." Against you, and they forget everything that they did previously. They just want you to focus on how you reacted to them, on your anger. Tell you you have anger problems, or they'll tell you you have anger problems. What's wrong with you? You know, I was very calm. Why are you raising your voice? You know, always like that. We have to remember that it's a game to them. It's a game. You know, there's always win and lose. They always want to win. So when they bait you, they want to win the bait. They're 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 hoping that you'll react the way that they expect you to react. That way they can um, score more supply from you. Yeah, silence unnerves them. Silence, yeah. That drives them up the wall. They can't stand when you're quiet. When you have nothing to say. Especially when they're screaming at you, you're just like they're looking at you like, wait, what? You know, they end up leaving like, oh, I just I made myself look bad. I had a one time when I was on live, the narcissistic neighbor was, raging at me, and people in the comments were saying, just ignore her, don't say anything, don't say anything. And I was like, okay, I'm not. And I just looked at her and she was just screaming at me. And I just stood there quiet. And I'm not, you guys, it worked. It works. Like, you just have to stay there just quiet and just observe. Just observe what comes out of them. And just like look at them and observe and be like, give them like a blank stare. But just observe everything that they're doing. And you're gonna see. Their mouth is so foul though. Narcissistic mouths are so foul. Their mouth is like a it's like everything that comes out of their mouth is just garbage, you know? I get disgusted every time I hear a narcissist get angry. I'm like, everything that comes out of their mouth irritates me. It just irritates me. Like, I can't stand it. It's just like, ugh. And then when they, get disrespectful with you, they're like, yeah, 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 like, and you're just like they're so annoying. Like, be quiet. And they don't shut up. Narcissists do not shut up. Like they'll continue. Like there was times where I would just, close the door, go in my room, and they would come back knocking on the door. And you're like, get out, like just leave. They'll come back again to continue to argue. Like, that's what I've noticed about them, that they, once you literally leave the argument, they'll try to come back and continue the argument. Like, continue it. And you're like, it's over, just leave. Like, get away from me. And they're like following you. Like, they'll follow you around. They're so annoying. They are so annoying. Yeah, that's to trigger you. That's to trigger you. Because they didn't get the reaction that they expect, and they're trying and trying and trying to get that reaction until they get it, and then they finally leave. And then they'll be like, why'd you do that to me? You're so mean. They'll be like, how dare you defend yourself? How dare you? Now they're the victim. Now they're gonna go cry. The crocodile tears and act like you're the worst. Like, there's times where I would argue with a narcissist, they would argue with me, and I would just go to the restroom and lock the door, and they would still knock, you know, waiting and waiting to continue to argue, and I'm like, just leave. I'm like, just leave. Like, get away from me. Like, just leave. And they're so annoying. They're obnoxious. They still want to stand there just waiting until you get out to continue to argue. I can't wrap my head around how they create an argument out of nothing. Like, out of nothing. Like, they'll create an argument over the most minorest thing you could ever think of. And to them, it's important to argue about that. And then you end up leaving, you're like, what was that argument even about? You know, you'll be like, I don't understand what just took place. My child. I think I want to make an extra video on that, how narcissists, you know, they just don't know how to stop arguing. Like, they have to continue to go and go and go and go. Because I've literally had narcissists chase me to continue to argue. I walked away and they... and then here comes the devil running after you. That's insane. But yeah, I've always dealt with narcissists that, you know, they don't know when to stop arguing. They just keep going and going and going and going, and everybody's just quiet, and they're just like, they're just like, you know, quiet. Everyone's just like done with the argument. They're like, nah, 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 and they keep yelling. I'm kind of sad that my own, that my family, some family are narcissists, and I'm like, they have kids, and I'm just like, poor children. I mean, being raised by a narcissistic parent is not, it's not It's like crazy. It's crazy. It's you go through like some crazy stuff, you know? As a child of a narc parent. I'm speaking from experience, you guys. I'm speaking from experience. I know what it's like to be raised by narcs. Yeah, narcissists will definitely destroy your clothes or throw it away. I had like favorite clothes that I would like. Next thing you know, I wouldn't find it anymore. It's crazy having to deal with narcissists. Oh, it's so crazy. I'm just thinking about it. I'm just thinking about like how like they're like who they are as a person. It's just like a I don't know. It's like a how do I explain it? It's like okay, it's a person that like physically looks just like us, but everything about them is just like like if you guys ever think about that like a narcissist like you think about like what kind of species are they or like I don't know, it's like something so crazy about them like having to deal with someone like that. Like it's just confusion, it's chaotic, like they bring absolutely nothing to the table. It's just like insanity. They're insanity. Like it's insanity how they blend in and how they operate, you know, and how they just speak. And it's like their fake confidence and their fake, you know, mask and all that is crazy. I think that's crazy. Like they actually act like people. I mean, it's actually believable because they're master manipulators. Like you see them happy and laughing, and you're like, oh, their narcissist is happy, and it's not real. And you know, it's kind of troublesome to believe it because you know, as someone who's sensitive, you're like, oh, they're laughing, it's funny. Yeah, I've actually believed it at times. I'm like, oh, you know, they're happy. Finally, they're in a good mood. I have to remember it's not even real. But I had a lot of trouble believing it because you know, I was raised by a covert narcissist and they would always laugh. And I was like, oh, they're laughing. Like, I guess it's funny. And I would laugh with them. And, you know, they would look at me angry, like, what are you laughing at with me? And I was like, what's wrong? Like, you're just laughing. I was trying to bond with I was trying to bond with, like, you know, with them. And the whole time it's not even real. It's kind of hard to believe it. That's why I'm thinking like narcissists are some weird species. Like they're just odd. Everything about them is just so cringy. That's the word, cringy. They're very cringy. Like what are they? I'm like what really are they? Their spirits is something else. And their eyes when they go black. No, you do not want to get involved with narcissists. Every time I remember the black eyes, I'm like, yeah, I don't want to ever get near narcissists. That's why they call it crazy making. Oh, it's true. Yeah. That's true. That's exactly what they call it, crazy making. Narcissists are black holes. They're completely fake. Yeah, they are. It's sad how they're able to convince others to go against you because others don't know their real intentions to you and think you are the problem. Others don't even know who they're dealing with. They look at the narcissist like an angel, like a good person. I have such a hard time believing that. I'm like, how can other people not see what I'm seeing? Because, I mean, a narcissist slips up every once in a while. You know, they slip up. So I'm like, they could not admit to people they are pathologically envious, so they make up excuses to hate. Or to act even more confident, too. Like, they will act more confident, too, if they're envious. They'll be like, um, yeah, I'm smarter. Yeah, I'm better than her. I'm better than him. I'm more attractive than him. Or they'll put themselves down. No, that person's more attractive than me. No. No, she's more prettier than me. Or they'll be like, I don't know what they see in her. I've literally had narcissists say that. I'm like, I don't know what they see in her, but she's not all that. She's not that pretty. uh, they all laugh at me because I'm different. Laugh at them because they're all the same. When those eyes go black, run. I kind of get cringeworthy when they're being nice. That is when I'm like, it's like I can't stand when narcissists are, they go 1 minute to like berating you and raging at you and humiliating you and degrading you and all that type of stuff. And then like the next day or so or the next moment, they're like being nice to you. They're like, "Hi, good morning. Hi, how are you?" You're like, "Wait, what?" You're like, "Wait, what did I just see? You just literally disrespected me and insulted me, and now you're acting like you, like, what? Like, it's just cringy, you guys. It is disgusting. I get so angry. I'm like, I'm not falling for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. And you're like, oh, they finally changed. Oh, they finally, they're finally gonna do better now. Oh, you see, they're not that bad. They're being nice. Oh no. But yeah, you guys. They have to make themselves outstanding righteous citizens, such as teachers, nurses, and police, to cover their response and criminal motives. Yep. True. It gives a narcissistic supply too, because they have a crowd of people looking up to them, like, oh, they're they're a teacher. Oh wow, such a great job. Thank you for being the the example for the next generations. Oh, poor students. Poor students. I feel bad for those students. The first day is amazing with the narcissistic teacher. As a time passes by, those students are gonna actually be struggling because the narcissist is gonna devalue some students and idealize other students, and then they're gonna have a golden student in the class. Have you guys seen that before? They have a golden student in the classroom. Then they have a classroom scapegoat. Then everyone else is like they don't match up to that golden student. That is so on point. I didn't even think about it like that. Wow, but that is exactly how it is. Now that makes sense. When they have like favorite student or that makes so much sense with narcissists. Master manipulators, they try to make make it their life work to cover who they really are. And they wonder why we don't like police. Yeah, exactly. My family hates me because I've called them out so many times, my dad's side. Next up. Yeah, that's how it is, Joshua. I've done the same thing, and yep, you get hated on for speaking the truth. Or for just exposing them. Making them look in the mirror. They don't like that. They can't stand that. One day they hate you, and the next they love you. Yeah, I feel like they hate you even when they're nice to you. They're just plotting on, on on getting you. It's like it's crazy because like I feel like they hate you all overall. It's just try to get you back on their hook when they're nice to you. It's something, or they want something from you when they're loving towards. Well, they're never loving. I mean, when they're just superficial nice to you, they want something from you, or they either have something planned. Or when they're nice, it's like they're planning something and it's not good. I know a teacher who is an avid church goer and the biggest covert narcissist and gossip, utterly irresponsible and even criminal actions with no morals. Wow. Yeah, that's how it is. The only one in the family that dares to go there. TI is not a small group. Majority of people exposed that don't fall for the TSA, making us feel alone. Exactly, yeah. You're right. They are nice, be afraid. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely am afraid when they're nice. I'm like, oh no, this is bad. They're planning something bad. I think they hate us because we naturally hold up a mirror to their emptiness. hmm But you guys, don't you guys actually remember how like teachers would have like a favorite student in the class, and then they would have like the worst student, like the scapegoat, or like the most mischievous, the most evil student in the class would actually get more attention in the class. Okay, doesn't that make sense why how narcissists like, those that are similar to them, like evil, just as wicked as they are? They kind of like glorify them or, make like them in a way. Cause I had that growing up, as a student. Um, the teacher would get along with like the most the most rebellious student in the class. I was like, wait, what? You're telling me that the student that doesn't do the right thing gets more attention? That's crazy. And the most well behaved student gets looked at like they're boring. Oh, these narcissistic teachers. Wow. Those were narcissistic teachers. They had a scapegoat and a golden child, not golden student. That makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. I never thought about it like that. I was like, I don't understand why that student gets so much attention and, the teacher is extremely nice to them and all of that. But yet every other student is just looked at like they can't match up to that student. Wow. It's an interesting topic, narcissistic teachers. Dang, that's actually a very interesting topic. Now that I think about that, that's an interesting topic to talk about. How they humiliate. Oh, you know what? Narcissistic teachers even devalue students. They even devalue students in their face. I've seen that. Like they will devalue certain people or laugh at them in class as a teacher. And you'd be like, that's a teacher? That's crazy. Or the own teacher will start problems between certain students too. Like instead of them, helping a bully, they'll actually, protect the bullies. Someone will come up to the teacher, student, hey teacher, this kid continues to bully me. Can you help me? The teacher would be like, oh, you're okay. Why are you being a snitch? Like, wow. I've been told that, as a student, they were like, why are you snitching again? I was like, I'm not snitching. So that is how these narcs have risen to power in government. It's too gross. Hey, teachers, leave those kids alone. That's what I call teacher's pet. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, teacher's pet. Yeah, that's what it was called. But now that student has to live up to that teacher's expectations. you know. That's a good topic to discuss. How narcissists are in different professions and how they actually do. I hate police. They're criminals with badges. A lot of police are narcissists. Exactly right. They're attracted. They gravitate towards that job. It's always positions of power and status. Yep, just because they wear a uniform, now they're the best. Now they're above everyone else. Now they look at people as below them. Insane. Insane. So crazy. We don't need no education. We don't need no lost control. I love that song. That's so true. You know, control. Controlling. Okay, I gotta. Hold on. Alright, teacher that knows what's going on or even participate, then tell you nobody likes a tattletale. Mm-hmm. My narcissist knows I see right through her, and she hates it. Same. Same. No dark sarcasm. How are you, Shalom? Hi. Whew. Shalom. They have not sent a honey pot in a long time, and I can't wait because the next one that talks to me, I'm going to tell them, get away from me now, good day. That's funny. It shocks me how fast narcissists move in relationships too. That's like, that is just funny now. When I see it happening, it's funny. It's comical. You know, when they try to rush. You're just looking at them like, calm down, Speedy Gonzalez. It's like a race. It's like a racing, one of those NASCAR race cars. That's how narcissists rush into relationships. like they really be thinking that they can just say, oh, let's date in like 2 weeks. Like, really? Like, I'm not gonna fall for that anymore. It's funny. Or they send you selfies. It's like the most narcissistic thing ever. Like, why do they send you so many selfies of them? You're like, dang, this person's full of themselves. Like, calm down. I mean, okay, it's nice when, like, you're dating, like an actual dating, right? And of course you send each other selfie, but like constantly, like, look at me. Don't I look good? What do you think? It's so annoying. I'm like, calm down. Like, These narcissists need to get over themselves. Like, sometimes they are so full of themselves. I had a lady one time tell me, I love you. And I turned around. I was like, wait, what? I was like, what did you just say? I was like, wait. I turned around. I was like, she just said, I love you. I don't even know this lady. This lady creepy. You know? I had other narcissists say that too. That I want to tell you something. I'm like, what? I love you. like, I'm like cringing. I'm like, ew, 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 ew. Cause I can't stand when people throw that word around. That's not what love is. This person doesn't even know what love is. First of all, you can't just say that word out of like, you know, just to try to make someone fall for you like that. That's funny. That'll never work with me. That will never work with me. That is something that narcissists and sociopaths love to do. Is throw out the word I love you in the first week or two. You're like, you don't even know me. I have certain people on my YouTube channel that will tell me, oh, I watch all your videos, and I'm like, I know you. I know how you feel. I know what you go through. I know what it's like. I'm like, calm down, calm down. I'm like, it's not that serious. Calm down, calm down. Trying to get trauma bonded. No, thank you. But no, these narcissists will even go as far as lying to you, saying that they're a targeted individual too. They'll take it so far just to get close to you and to be your friend or to date you. They'll be like, I know what you go through because I go through the same thing too. And then when you ask them, what do you go through? They're like, I don't know, I just, you know, they'll mimic you. They study you. True love takes time and a genuine person doesn't try to rush. A narc has to rush. Or when you tell a narc, you're rushing too quickly, like, slow down, like, I really know you. Let's take time to actually get to know each other properly. Then the narc thinks, oh, this is a perfect time to rush even faster. And what do they do? They'll try to make you feel guilty. Be like, no, I just really, really like you. You don't understand. I like you so much. That's why I'm doing that. Because I like you so much. You're like, what? And then they'll be like, oh, don't leave me. You know, let's get married. Let's move in together. It's crazy, you guys. They are just. They'll go as far as to do that. Why? Because they want to secure their supply. They need to secure the narc supply. And why do they do that? Because they don't want you to realize who they really are. That's why they try to rush. They get you to believe a false self. It's important. It takes time to know someone. Narcissists are so annoying. But when you talk to them, all they talk about is themselves. Like, just like, shut up, I'm tired of listening to you. That's so, I can't stand that. Like, you're on the phone, you're like trying to say something, and they're like, talking and talking. And then when you say something, they cut you off and they continue to rant and rant off of them, off of their life, talking about how good everything is and everything's just perfect and blah blah blah. They rage when you know who they are. Or they'll try to what do you call it? Love bomb you even harder. But yeah, they move really fast in relationships. For sure, for sure. It's like major red flags. You're like, calm down. It's like everything. Maybe I've been running too fast, move too fast, live too fast. Ain't no such thing as too fast for the narcissists. Moving at the speed of light. They want to be us, Melissa. Yeah, because it's true. They have to take from us because where we seek the truth. Yeah, now narcissists are actually being exposed. Nobody wants to deal with them nowadays. Nobody wants to deal with the narcissists. What do? Yeah, narcissists are being exposed big time during these times. I don't think narcissists can actually get away with what they've done. Like, this is a moment where narcissists are just running very low on supply. Because so many people realize what they're dealing with, and they're like, no, thank you, I'm out. You know, certain people who have actually came to the truth. Not everyone, but you know. Yep, everything is coming to an end.